We're about a third of the way through the year, and it seems we've already had more controversies, allegations, and issues with YouTubers this year than we did in 2020. Which, given how much went down in 2020, I mean, come on. That being said, Insider conducted a survey including 75 influencers, determining who were the most well-known, liked, and of course, disliked. And to be honest, guys, I'm genuinely not that surprised whatsoever, aside from maybe a few people that I would expect on here, and I'm sure you guys will too, that weren't included. With that being said, let's count down the top 10 most disliked YouTubers of 2021. Smash that like button and let's go. Starting things off at number 10, we got David Dobrik. It seems the term used in this poll was unfavorable, but the reality is they don't like the person. Very nice way of saying that. And given Dobrik's recent few months of accusations, lost sponsorships, and friends, well, as we know, he's been going through it. His 2 apologies did not go as planned, and now with the most recent video dropped by Jeff Wittick appearing to show David almost killing him in the accident, has even more people calling out Dobrik. So if this poll was redone today, with all that's currently happening, it's quite possible Dobrik would be higher up on the list. That being said, it seems those who know who he is, which I'd say is close to the majority of those surveyed, 46% said he was unfavorable. As I mentioned, Jeff's video dropped about 12 hours ago, maybe less, at the time of this recording, so we need to see how things play out moving forward. That being said, people have already started commenting on David's most recent video yet again, calling him out for almost killing Jeff, as they put it in the comments. At number 9, we got Shane Dawson. Are we really all that surprised? Maybe he should have been higher because he had a rough year. Then again, he didn't post this year yet, so I get why he wouldn't be as hated. Either way, of those surveyed, 23% knew who Shane was, and 48% of them were not fans. As in, they voted unfavorable because they disliked the guy. Now, it's pretty wild that given Shane has been out of the spotlight for almost a year now, people are still willing to say they dislike him more than other YouTubers, currently involving themselves in ongoing controversies or drama. That being said, I understand why people wouldn't be the biggest fan of Shane due to his past controversy. Although some are willing to move on, it's clear many aren't. More on that later with another YouTuber who had a little past issue. Number 8, the Ace family. Again, like others on this list, the Ace family, I'd say more specifically Austin and maybe Catherine, because the kids don't know what's going on. It's not like they make the videos. Either way, they have gotten into controversies in the past. There was an old clip of Austin buying his younger cousin a lollipop that looked like a male's area, I'll say. There was another time he said some of his fans were ungrateful for the free content they put out, and that they should pay for the content, which led to backlash among a handful of other past and present dramas. It seems only 13% of those surveyed knew the Ace family, likely because of Austin, and gave an unfavorable rating of 50%. Oh boy. Now on to number 7, we got Lovely Peaches. Yeah, this one, if you know her, and if you don't, well, you got no idea who she is or why she's problematic, and you probably want to leave it that way. A lot to unpack for you guys, and you may need to do some of your own research because, like I said, it's a lot. Either way, on this survey, 9% knew who she was, and 50% of them found her unfavorable. I really can't get into the numerous things that she's claimed to do or been accused of, but let's say it's some of the most disgusting, awful things you could do. Unfortunately, on the internet, especially with these entertainers, it's tough to know what's real and what's not, but given that she was recently arrested back in January of 2021, it seems one of her last stunts was very real and very cruel. Again, unfortunately, can't say too much, but if you guys look it up, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's awful. Number 6, we got Jeffree Star, the beauty guru who has been accused of so many things I can't speak about, as well as bribing, inappropriate touching, racism. I mean, you guys know. He lands at number 6, which is actually where he landed on Insider's 2020 most disliked YouTuber poll. That being said, it seems he improved, as 28% of those surveyed knew who he was, which is up from the 23% last year. All right, so he's getting the brand out there. That's good. In regards to dislikes, 52% of those who knew him were unfavorable, which is actually down 4% from last year, so a bit of a silver lining there, but I mean, still pretty rough. That being said, it's quite evident that Star has been able to maintain an incredibly loyal fan base, and people are willing to forgive and forget, as over the years, he's still maintained his brand over numerous cancellations. You gotta say, regardless of how you feel, Star is definitely a fighter. Now, halfway at 5, Zoe Laverne. I feel like you guys are gonna think I despise this girl because I've brought her up in lists before, but this time, it's not even my doing. The people have voted, so let's hear what they had to say. Although only 6% of those surveyed knew her, 52% of them disliked her, which leaves her in the same spot as last year. For those of you unaware, Zoe was first caught talking about Charli D'Amelio, which in itself is a crime. You talk about Charli, and it's like, canceled, done. Then there was a whole controversy because she, I quote, caught feelings for one of her fans, a fellow TikToker, Connor Joyce. Issue is, Joyce is 13 and Zoe is 19, and they got very close, and at one point, while in the heat of the moment, did something they probably shouldn't have. Now, I don't want to make it seem like it's something that it wasn't. It was just a quick peck, a little kiss on the lips, as far as I'm concerned, but the fact that Zoe and then her mom tried to defend it and the entire situation, well, that was just wild to me. And it seems like others feel the same way, which is why she ranks so high, or low. 5 is pretty high on the list of top 10 worst. I guess 1's being the worst, you know? Bringing us to number 4, we got Keemstar. Now, you guys may or may not know Keem from Drama Alert. Given that he's a drama channel, well, sometimes he says things that upsets people and then they make a YouTube video about it. Now, other times, Keem does say or do things that people feel are unwarranted or even controversial. It seems he does have an incredibly loyal fan base, as seen with his somewhat recent back and forths with Ethan Klein of H3H3. That being said, as we know, K-pop stans are like no other, and as Keem recently made some controversial comments, well, it seems he's become much more disliked over the last few months specifically, at least as per those being surveyed. 10% knew who he was, and 57% of them found him to be unfavorable. Oh boy. As per Insider, this is up 10% from the last survey. So yikes, he really pissed off some people. Now on to number 3, we got Logan Paul. Now, as I've said before, I think Logan has genuinely changed for the better and his content shows. That being said, some people still aren't willing to forgive him for his actions back in 2017, which honestly I respect, to each their own. However, it doesn't seem he's been involved in much controversy as of the last few years, with maybe his biggest dramas being losing a KSI or calling out Floyd Mayweather. He's launched a successful podcast and the whole Pokemon obsession thing has him going good for him, as well as a recent move to Puerto Rico. However, of the 38% who knew him, 64% still feel he's unfavorable. The silver lining here is last year, only 31% of those surveyed knew him, and 68% found him unfavorable. I can't confirm whether or not they survey the same people every year, but regardless, he's gained notoriety and gotten more favorable from the year prior. That being said, he's got work to do, because I mean, 64% is like, ooh, yikes, it's bad. But not as bad as number 2. At number 2, Jake Paul. The younger and much more controversial brother of Logan Paul, I genuinely feel like Jake is a villain in the WWE. I know a lot of people dislike him and all, but at the end of the day, I think he's not half the person he plays on to be. I mean, he's an entertainer. I think behind the scenes he tones it down, but I could be wrong. And of course, with the recent accusations made against him, well, although he's denied it and claims he'll be pursuing legal action, we need to see how things play out here. As of now, it appears there's no updates, and it's probably being handled in courts, which is why everything's being kept under wraps. That being said, him calling COVID a hoax, being in a mall while people were looting it, throwing parties during a lockdown, I mean, there's so many reasons why people wouldn't like this guy. Last year, he was known by 30% of those surveyed and apparently disliked by 71%. Ouch. This year, he was known by 34% of people and unfavorable to 67% of them. Still, ouch. And with his most recent knockout, I don't know if he has more fans or haters. I don't know. And number 1, Onision. Really want to just call him Onion. I think that'd just be better. Real name James Jackson. Onion over here has been accused of so many awful things I unfortunately can't say, but they include messing with people both mentally and physically, as well as actually filming himself doing pretty awful things to people and telling them no one will ever know. Chris Hansen even took part of a Discovery Plus documentary to actually look into the numerous allegations made against Onision, and it led to not only his YouTube channel being demonetized, but apparently a lot more people disliking him. Both surveys show that only 7% knew who he was, but last time around he was unfavorable by 59%. This time he was disliked by 75%. And for good reason.
2021 has been a wild ride already, from mean tweets resurfacing to influencers getting caught in 4K lying to their fans. There have been so many famous people that have been called out that we thought we should put together a full list of the most disliked influencers of 2021 so far. But first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. With that out of the way, let's begin today's top 10. Coming in number 10, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has been all over the news as of late because of past scandals regarding messages that she had sent. Along with that, she had also left Twitter blaming its toxic cycle for putting her into a bad mood. But then out of nowhere, she kind of just returned and started tweeting up a storm again. That is until those tweets and private messages to Courtney Stodden began to emerge. Then she went quiet again and returned only to give a forced apology. Chrissy used to be beloved on Twitter for going after controversial celebrity figures, but now the script has completely flipped. After this weak apology to save her sponsorship deals, Chrissy's image has slowly shifted from savior to get her out of here. She even had the audacity to say that she had apologized to Courtney Stodden, but in reality she had blocked Courtney months prior. Coming number 9, Onision.
What's up? I haven't made a video for a little while. Oh my god, I've become one of those YouTubers who makes videos to let people know that they exist, but they're not.
I still can't believe this guy is actually still posting to YouTube despite the many examples of problematic behavior that he has presented over the years. He has just over 1.4 million subscribers that keep coming back for his content regardless though. So far all of his channels, because he has more than one, have been demonetized by YouTube, but even that has not stopped him. Creepshow Art even recently put out a video detailing how he is back on YouTube and back to emailing her. Along with several other commentary YouTubers on the platform, he has been consistent with his harassment of these YouTubers who are simply trying to expose him for being the creep that he is. I mean, they sort of accomplished their goal because you can't even really type his name into Google without first seeing all of the terrible things that he's done. Coming in number 8, Nicole Sanchez. If that name doesn't ring a bell for you, allow me to remind you. Nicole Sanchez is the influencer who first went viral for her OK Boomer video while wearing a Bernie 2020 shirt. The video was met with mixed reactions, with users divided over whether the video was cute and charming or cringeworthy. I'm gonna go with cringeworthy. Following her increase in popularity, it became apparent that much of her online fanbase were following her for ulterior motives. A significant amount of engagement on her content were users attempting to flirt or describe their physical attraction to her. And after Sanchez revealed that she had a boyfriend, she lost over 65,000 Twitter followers within 48 hours. Although fans really started to dislike her when she began to show off her brand new $2 million condo that she had just purchased. Many called it hypocritical as she was just photographed wearing a shirt that read "Tax the Rich." The video drew heavy criticism and overwhelming dislikes for the alleged hypocrisy. Coming in number 7, Austin McBroom. The Ace family has just over 18 million subscribers and have become very well known for the pranks that they would play on each other. After taking part in online challenges and overall blogging their day-to-day life, people really started to love them. Although this family-friendly channel came under fire after the head of the family, Austin McBroom, started acting not so friendly. Austin's first point of backlash has to be when he took his wife's year-old sister into, let's say, an erotic store, and then he filmed himself buying her a phallic lollipop. Almost every person was disgusted by this, and their subscribers definitely took a hit. Although by far the thing that got him the most backlash was when he posted to Twitter saying, "Some of y'all are ungrateful for free content. Some of y'all should be charged every time you watch someone's video. I don't know why y'all think it's just so easy to make videos every day or every other day. If it was so easy, everyone including yourself would be doing it." This was met with fire and brimstone on Twitter, and people ripped him up and down for this statement. He later removed the tweet, but luckily someone had taken a screenshot. Coming in number 6, James Charles. Recently, James Charles released an apology video in response to the allegations that he had exchanged inappropriate messages with outraged people. Typically in a James Charles apology video, he would shift the blame from himself, but James full-on admitted to his mistakes and crimes. He admitted to having engaged in a flirtatious conversation with two 16-year-olds, once from last year and again just recently, which was exposed all over TikTok. Although he is still standing by the defense that he believed both people were 18 years old at the time. However, if we are going to be transparent with James Charles' intentions, then I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this apology came after that he was replaced on the YouTube TV show that he co-created called Instant Influencer. With repeated allegations of inappropriate sexual behavior, it's safe to say that most people just want to see James Charles quit YouTube. Coming in number 5, Gabby Hanna. Back in 2019, Jessie Smiles had released a YouTube video where she accused her former friend Gabby Hanna of associating with her terrible ex-boyfriend Curtis Lepore. Gabby has repeatedly denied having any involvement with Curtis, and at the time of the story breaking, she claimed in a BuzzFeed article that she and Curtis had only met once. Turns out this was false. In the conversations with Jessie, Gabby admits to interacting with him on 3 separate occasions. Gabby admits that when her and Jessie were going back and forth online, that Curtis ended up FaceTiming her. She said that the only reason she picked up this phone call was because she didn't have the number saved. The second incident took place at an event where Gabby again said that Curtis approached her to take a selfie, but that she refused said selfie, even though there was a photo of it, of them both smiling. The last interaction between Gabby and Jessie's problematic ex took place during a party at 1600 Vine. He showed up at this party because friends of his were also attending, which is why Gabby was accused by Jessie of supporting and hanging out with his friends. According to Gabby, he showed up, pulled her to the side, and tried to speak with her about what happened with Jessie. However, when Jessie tries to interject because Gabby had previously denied this meeting, Gabby just snaps and begins yelling about being allowed to have friends and collaborating with others. Needless to say, Gabby Hanna lost a ton of fans after getting exposed for lying like this. Coming in number 4, Tana Mojo. Now, Tana has had an unstable relationship with her fans for quite some time now. Whether you hated her for allegations of racism or her bizarre marriage to Jake Paul, there always seemed to be something. More recently, Tana went through 2 surges of mass attention from the internet. The first was her very notable switch to OnlyFans content, which was only followed by her Booty for Biden campaign, a controversy all on its own after many accused her of engaging in electoral fraud. This campaign basically stated that she would send nudes to Americans that show proof that they had voted for Joe Biden. Although none of that has to do with why we we have witnessed Tana's subscribers drop off at an enormous rate. Fans recently have noted a very big shift in the way that Tana has been creating content on YouTube specifically. Previously, she was well known for more wacky storytime content that involved other creators telling wild stories from their lives. Now it appears Tana has shifted to a more vlog-oriented type of content featuring her friends. A lot of people though just felt that the videos now were very disingenuous, and to many the only option is to switch back to that old content or quit YouTube altogether. Coming in number 3, Jake Paul. Jake Paul is another YouTuber that has used controversy to propel his career from being a Disney actor to one of the most hated creators on YouTube. His first real controversy even got him fired from the show Bizarre Vark back in 2017 after his West Hollywood neighbors claimed that he had turned their block into a war zone, which was followed by the video of him jumping on that news van. Then following that, he found himself in a deeper trouble for scamming his young fans on more than one occasion. He really is someone that you can tell doesn't recognize or appreciate the support that he does get on the platform. Despite trying to scam people, despite being investigated by the FBI, despite coming under fire for using slurs and posting inappropriate videos for his young fans, Jake Paul still continues to upload. Even in 2021, with all of his boxing ventures, Jake Paul actually strives to be the most disliked person. So perhaps you'll be offended that we didn't actually put him in our number 1 spot, but there's people that are more deserving. Coming in at number 2, Dirty Dom. This Dirty Dom character has been shaped and molded as part of David Dobrik's vlog squad, which often featured videos that bordered on reality TV, improv, and situational comedy. For years they had built a joke about Dom's character that he was a sex addict, if you will, but little did they realize just how far he would take things. In the since deleted vlog video titled She Should Not Have Played With Fire, David Dobrik filmed Dom's victim as she entered a bedroom with him, then uploaded the footage as some sort of threesome plot just a few days later. The traumatizing and unfortunate part was that the woman seen in the vlog was a victim of SA at the hands of Dom. In addition to that, she claimed that the group fed her and her friends alcohol despite them being rage. The allegations are clear. His own friends have turned on him and condemned what he did, but for some reason his YouTube page is still active. Last but certainly least, in our number 1 spot, Trisha Paytas. Trisha Paytas has had many ups and downs over their YouTube career. However, once they joined the Frenemies podcast with H3's Ethan Klein to settle their disputes, it appeared like they were finally turning a new leaf. Unfortunately, an argument over money and ownership rights to the podcast led to Trisha walking off the show for the 3rd time. Without a doubt, this was the last straw for whatever fans that Trisha had left. Since then, Trisha has only dug a deeper hole to climb out of after making video after video accusing Ethan of lying. Needless to say, it will take a miracle for people to start liking Trisha Paytas again. Either way guys, that has been the top 10 most disliked influencers of 2021 so far, but before we get out of here, let's check out some of your comments from the video title, Jeffree Star Talks Controversy, David Dobrik Returns, and Caller Daddy's $60 million Spotify deal. Age of the Witch says, almost 2 million subs, I am counting the minutes for you guys, so exciting and much deserved. Oh, thank you so much, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because we really want to hit that 2 million. Anthony Maxwell says, your channel is amazing, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, we appreciate your comment. Erica Stone says, I give it 6 to 12 weeks, Jeffree comes back to the beauty world and it is the drama. I prefer real drama, not fake drama. I hope he brings no drama at all. Empress Juju says, I'm happy for the Call Her Daddy woman, but I still don't like David Dobrik. Yeah, shout out to Alice Cooper, that $60 million deal is incredible, and especially just for a podcast, absolutely amazing, but yeah, we also don't like David Dobrik still. Risa Griffith says, boo, I love this channel, but absolutely hate David Dobrik and just wish no one would watch or talk about him ever again. I mean, he's still getting like, I think he got like close to 3 million views on his returning vlog, so we're gonna be talking about him regardless. But thank you guys so much for watching today's top 10. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube, or at least try it.